Welcome to the first of my Patreon request videos. On my $5 tier on Patreon, my patrons are able to request for me to watch a movie, and then I'll make a quick, off the cuff, unscripted, low effort video to talk about what I thought about the movie. And this is the first one I've ever done. I'd like to very much thank my patron for suggesting it to me. The movie that was suggested for me to watch is Blue Skies Rio. Now, this is a movie that came out, 10 years ago. Wow. And I remember seeing bits of it on TV soon after it came out, and I never really sat down and just watched it until now. And the first thing I need to say is that holy cow, the character animation in this movie is incredible. The birds, the way they move, especially the beginning sequence. I feel like they might have animated the bits where Blue is living in the bookstore in Minnesota. I think they might have animated that last, or had their best animators do that sequence, because holy cow, that is a strong opening to the movie. It shows Blue just interacting with things in such an interesting and fun way, and he uses his legs as hands. Like his feet are so often used as hands, and it's so satisfying to see that. It's like one of my favorite things in all of animation is when you have a character like an animal or something, and they really lean into showing the animal using its entire body to be useful. Because, yeah, it's kind of boring if they're just, walking around talking at things. I want to see them move. I want to see them do things. And this movie did that. But the other thing that really stuck out to me is how absolutely awful the motion blur was. And I tried two different rips of the Blu-ray. I even went and got the version from iTunes. And no matter what version I tried, it was just motion blur. And I want to say that it was intentional, because after looking at three different versions of the same film, and all three of them just having like so many instances where things just become a smeary blur, it's no good. I am a PC gamer, and I am part of the crowd that just says no to motion blur. It's like, my monitor doesn't have the best pixel response time, so the image is smeary enough as it is. I don't need to introduce more smear. So yeah, I think that this movie just had an overuse of motion blur, and it hurt the scenes where, yeah. But I will say that this movie had really good lighting. The skyboxes were really nice. The volumetric lights were really warm and colorful. And just this entire movie was so vibrant. I don't know what it is, but ever since the age of like the Xbox 360 and PS3, especially after Call of Duty 4 came out, I just hate it when media intentionally gets rid of color. I really dislike, gritty, serious, everything is gray and brown. I just hate that so much. And Rio is such a breath of fresh air. It's like, I don't know. I watch a lot of movies, and and a bunch of them have, bright, vibrant colors. And every time I see bright, vibrant colors, it just makes me happy, because I that's what I like. I like it when things have bright, vibrant colors. And the music in this show, I think that it did its job for the most part. I think that the music was some of it was pretty good. I think that the bit at the like the dance party, the music was pretty good there. The visuals there were really good. They really did a good job playing with the lighting there. And yeah, so the music was okay. Nothing that I would write home about. And oh my goodness, the fur, not the fur, the feathers on the main characters, especially Blue, they were just so good. They actually like ruffled and had layers, and they bunched up and clotted together. It looked so good. I think that technically, of all the technical achievements of the movie, between the lighting and the textures and everything, I think that the most impressive thing to me was the feathers. The feathers looked so good. And, yeah, so good. So, one of the things that I often talk about is how I wish that there was more 2D animation, but I think that Rio is a good example of why, as much as I would love to see the triumphant return of 2D animated features, there will always be a place for 3D stuff, because I don't think that the visual, like every the things that made Rio visually appealing came from basically it being a modern CG movie. Oh my goodness, just the feathers. I'm still on the feathers. The feathers in Rio were so good. And it makes me glad that there's a sequel. There's a sequel. It's already out. I'm probably going to watch it sometime. Not anytime super soon, but yeah, oh wow. Because I just want to see what the movie, what the studio can do with a chance to revisit that world with, the small advances in technology that came between 2011 and 2014. And yeah. So story-wise, I wasn't crazy about it, but it was nice. I think that the voice actors did a good job. I yeah, so I have nothing like super good to say about the story, but I don't have anything bad to say about it either. It was enjoyable. But oh, the animation, especially the characters. And there's so many birds. That's one of the big things about this. Like, I think Rio, I think the reason that they wanted to make it is because the animators wanted to explore birds. And they did. They explored so many birds. Like, they were even able to sneak in some Canadian geese in there because of the Minnesota scene. So, yeah. Rio. Story-wise, I say it was fine. But animation-wise, 2 thumbs up. Visual quality-wise, I have to knock a point off because of the awful motion blur. If somebody can point me at a source that shows where it doesn't have motion blur, I'd love to watch it that way, but the ways that I saw it, the best ways I knew how, it just whenever the action got going, it got kind of smeary, and I did not appreciate that. But yeah, so thank you so much to the patron who suggested this video of watching Rio. I very much enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.